G'day, Ianapolis here, acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my video. Before I get started, I'd like to just get the size up there of the canvas that I'm using today. And also I'll get some colours running up the screen. Now they're what I have available to use in this painting. If you don't have the exact same, just use something similar. All right. Now this is a beautiful tree painting. The hero of this painting is the colours within the tree. And if you think you can't do it, you're wrong, because I'm here to show you you can do it. So let's go. This area behind this road here is sort of up and coming down and out, okay? So that's why you see this little line here. And this is going to mystify and fade into that. So I have some soft-bodied titanium white, which I call craft white, but it's just a soft body, and some retarder. The retarder is going to slow down the drying time of this paint here. And this is the only paint I'm going to put the retarder in, the slow drying medium in. I don't want it in every colour. Now I'm going to cover that up. I put that there so you can see what's in my mind, even though I'm not in Carolina. And we'll get this all the way across there like that. And we'll just paint it on there in that kind of fashion. Turning to the left as we go. There we go. Now that's all on there, ready to get my colours to blend. Without this, what I'm going to do next will not happen, will not work. So now I just want to stroke this with the tip of this putter on a brush and get it nice and even. Nice, even, thin layer of that. If you feel like, I can see this area here is thinner than up here. So if you feel that happening, simply wipe your brush. Don't just fall victim to it and let the brush make up your mind. You make up your mind. So I've wiped that brush now. Now I'm able to thin this out a lot thinner. There we go. So watch this video the whole way through so you know what's going on. Now down here I've got some grey, toning grey, mid-toning grey, and I've got some Australian sienna, okay? That's pretty much like, that's a good colour if you can find it. And I want to get this and that vibe going. Now, like I said, about a third that far across. I want to just get this. I could still see my road there. I'm getting it crisscrossed right in there. This is a great fun exercise for you beginners. Something different. And I'll just let that fade. Now I'll pull that right across the page like that. That's just subtle, but it's there. Okay, I've got some perylene green and some grey here. So I'm going to pick up the grey and a little bit of perylene green in there. Both sides of my brush. There we go. And from about here, I want to get this on like that and let it fade up into there. It's very light, but it's gonna, you need this there, because if you don't have it there, by the time you finish your painting, it's going to be quite stark and lonely and white looking up there, and people are going to think, I like that painting, but something's not quite with it. Okay, and now we'll just, the main tree's going to be there in the middle. Now I'm grabbing the perylene green just on the tip of this putter on a brush. This is the dark green. And where my road went there, I want this pretty much along there like that to the horizon line. Or I don't have to go all the way out there, you idiot. I shouldn't have went all the way out there, but anyway. Now I've got to get that transition with the tip of the brush now. I'm getting that into that other colour there and making it a beautiful gradient of the two colours. Now I'm grabbing a viridian green. This is the vibe that I want, this colour here. Just from about here, I want this here. There we go, because this is kind of that fluorescent-y green colour. That's why I want this one. And I want to fade that into there. Now you want this to be just a light gradient. I'm going to wipe the brush because there's a lot of that colour on there still. Now what I need to do, you know how you're putting lights and darks and you've got to tune it up. I want to bring this colour back down. So what I'll do is I'll grab another putter on a brush. It's a bit dark. Just get it back down. And then there we go. Now I'm going to grab the Viridian Green again, because I still want this to be, I'm going to control where I put it. I still want this to be a bit more smoky up there. So I'll get it on like so. There we go. It's roughly where I want it. Don't bring that coloured brush up too far higher. Now I'll use this brush and smoke it in, blend it in, just so it's a nice transition of the two. But don't bring the green too high up. I've got a blending brush, see here. I'm going to just kind of sit that down because I don't like the way what's happened there. And my mouse stick is at the top there, very rattly. I want to quieten that down in the next shot. Get all this softened back up like that. Now I am working from the back towards the front, coming forward. The background's done. I need to just bring this a bit forward so I can bring the road in front. And to do that, I'm grabbing the Viridian Green, and I'm going to need some black as well. But what I want to do, I'm using a fan brush, a hog bristle fan brush, so as I can get some sharpness now. Now that road's coming about here, so I want some of this just from about lightly out there, just lightly, in a left and right motion. And from about there, I'll start thickening it up. If that makes sense. I think you know what I mean. I'll leave that about there. Get some more on this brush. Just bring it down to where you think the road's going to be. Put something there. Because the road's about there. I won't even clean the brush. I'm just going to mix the black with the Perylene Green. Because we're putting bits and bobs out there, we might put something, a bit of a mongoosey thing, mongoose grass there, something nice and tall, and okay, just like that. You don't have to do that. I want to get some of this stuff more at the forward ground now, that's why I want it darker. Just something like that, a lot darker actually. Just something artistic out there, that's it. I'm grabbing the Perylene Green, it does have some black in it, but that's okay, because where's my horizon line? About here. That bit of the road is going to come there, so about here. I just want to get this dark, I need the darks in there, so when I put the other colours on, they will show through. Work out the perspective I've got here, because that road's going to come all the way through there, so that's what you've got to be in your mind. And I probably will get some dark now along here, just black along here to the edge of the red, the edge of the road's going to be. Now grab yourself a flat brush, something you like to map in a road with. I've got my grey here, I'm going to use this to map it in, then I can lighten and darken it where I feel. Now up here, it's got to fade away, so I want to start from about here and get this, where are we? Right against there, this will be the coming along. It doesn't have to be factory straight, it's a road. Get the edge the way I want it. Oh, this shakes. And around here. Cutting into that black. Oh. And then we'll block it in. I don't know if I told you or not, but I'm going to tell you again. I've dried the bottom half. So see how I'm rubbing this in? If I didn't dry it, it'll be giving me grief. Now I'm going just to that area there, and then I'll join that up. I'll show you how we join that up. It's real easy, it's so easy to do, and you know what, the good thing about it is it's a lot of fun as well. And you know what makes it fun? It's because you know what you're doing and you know you're gonna do it. Now I want to join the top of this road to that bit there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come along here very gingerly. I've dried it, so it's probably not going to work too well. About here, get all that off my brush, and I want to, if this brush is too thick, which it is, I'm going to grab my little scrumbling brush, and I want to just, you know, like smoke, just fade that into there. Don't go up. The road's going this way. See, I nearly went up there, so you want to fade it over here. Just like misty, foggy smoke stuff. Wipe it off and get up there. Careful not to grind too hard where you've got that craft paint underneath, because you can grind right down to the white and you'll think, oh, it's not working for me there. There we go, how's that looking? Not the best. Okay, so what I'll do, some of the grey and the Australian sienna again, just to doctor. There we go, it's not too bad. And I want to kind of just fade that back into there. Now that's wet, that grey, it's going to fade better, watch. I'll get that faded. Okay. So we've got the grey road faded into that colour, and then we're going to pick up just the white now, just that craft white, because that's, and we're going to blend this back. I wouldn't be doing all of this if I didn't bring that other colour all the way back there. Now we're just fading that down. There's going to be a big tree here, but this is just in case you see it. Now, where's me grey? Let's grab a bit more grey. The road needs some darker bits, so I'll gradually grab the black. It doesn't have to be fully mixed, it can be marbly. Okay, and we'll grab some darker values within our road. So I want to start from about here, and I'm going to come, there we go, just like that. The road's still wet. I'm getting rid of that light line on the edge of the road there. There we go. And I'm stroking it in the way the road's running and driving, if that makes any sense to you. Now I want to get a little bit more black into that and just get some, I don't know, come from here and just get some darker vibes coming from the bottom up into there while it's still all wet. That way it's merging a lot nicer. And get some up there, just don't think about it, just do it. Once you take your brush off and you step back and have a look at what you've done, you're usually pretty good with it. You're usually pretty happy with it. Just getting rid of that light line across the edge. Don't go too far up there, Ian. Okay. I will grab a bit of just the normal grey, just to put that bit back because I buggered up there. It's good to show you how I fix up my bugger ups in the Whoopsie, buggered up. Call that a whoopsie action. There we go. Okay, the road's dry. I'm grabbing my Australian sienna. Which when you put a little bit of white with it, it goes really strong. Look at that. Come along here and make some, I've dried this, didn't I say? Yes, I did. Some of the tree leaves that fell down. But you know what I do got to do? I've got to put the green in there first. So I've got sap green. I'm going to get a bit of yellow with it just to turn the lights on, a bit of cadmium yellow. Don't want it too bright. There we go, about that vibe. And along here, these dark bits, we're sitting back with this lighter green. So we're getting some of this, well, maybe that's a bit too bright. I'm just going to stab a bit more of the darker vibe in there. There we go. Get some of this just sitting back, coming across here. You can have some scratching up if you can get that to happen. I'm not the best at this, but there you go, look at that. All the way along here, sitting that other stuff back. And we'll also come along here, a bit of darkness between the road, and then just get the vibe happening. No, you don't want to be too much of this green up there. That'll do. Now I'm going to grab a bit more of the yellow in it just to highlight some of that, but I don't want it too bright yellowy, otherwise it'll look cartoony. I just want to, where are we? If the camera's picking up some of that highlighted colour that I'm getting on there in front of the screen. Yeah. This is going to be covered up with a lot of detail. That looks a bit chippity-choppity at the moment. Don't worry about that. Australian sienna with a little bit of white in there. Now this over here can be lighter, but from about here, I just want some of this dotting on that green, like so. And as it's coming this way, it's fading away a bit. So it just made sense to get the green down first. Get some open up ones around here. It's a rainy day here today in Perth. Okay, where are we? And some on this side. Now grab your white and brighten up, just what's in the brush is enough, and brighten up some of that Australian sienna, because over here where the road faded away, it's got all the lighter colours there. Every time I pick up the paint, I'm chiseling my brush sharp. I want some of this laying down there. Just knowing where to put the different values just makes quite good art. Excuse me. Some of it's on the road there. And some of it, well, first all this is going to be a lot brighter. Dotty brighter. Out here. I could have probably used my deerfoot for this as well, which I think I will for the next colour. I'm getting the lighter values in there now. Alright, I'm grabbing the yellow ochre. I've got to get some white as well. I just got yellow ochre and some white. This is going to be the real lighter colour right up the top there, but this deerfoot's going to allow me to get it in specks and dots.
Just work over here first with me, Ian.
No worries. So I want it nice and light over there. And over here, coming back over that colour there. Now the next colour I want is burnt umber, but I want a very pale burnt umber, so I'm going to get that to the value that I want using a flat brush to create a nice trunk in the background. We want a tree maybe here, one about here, and one about here. Where are we? So about here. Okay, that's where my trees are. But this further one's going to be a lot darker, so Actually, I'll use a flat brush that's not so wide. Get the bottom about there. Even this one's too wide, I don't want that fat. So grab your appropriate brush and make a tree trunk. I want to sort of come out just like so. Maybe coming off here that way. Indicating up there, yeah. I can use this to feather over that tree. Don't worry about the trunk, they're going to be these big sort of trunks because they're like big willow trees. Now we're going to come just a little bit darker now, so we can grab this and grab it to this value. Now it is a tree, so it doesn't have to be solidly mixed, it can be a bit marbly. Now this tree is going to come from about here, okay? Now before I put this tree in though, I need to get his foliage on so this tree's trunk can be in front of it. Simply grabbing my fan brush, I want the Australian sienna and I want it very light now. So I'm going to make up over here. Look at it when you add white, it goes like a honeycomb colour, it looks beautiful. These branches that I'm going to do, the leaves and all this, they're sort of going to come down in a up and down way. Okay, so there's my trunk. I'm going to go like this, okay? Slowly sink that back. But see how I stamped it on, you got big blobs. You want it terry and very loose, but in an up and down way because it's that kind of tree. Nice and light out there. Now try not to do them in little blobs like that. They've got to... I'm getting all this side done first. Don't go right to the edge of the painting there. We've got some nice light bits coming down here. See, the trunk is just there. That's why I said don't worry about that trunk. Now a lot of this is going to be overlapped with the darker colour, so watch the whole video and you understand why. Now that's done to a degree. I'll come over here with it. Somewhere there. I want a little bit of darkness within it. Not too much. Let me go up here. Oh yeah. Just... It's wet paint, so it's going to soften back down. There we go. I'm just trying to make up different values within the group of the tree leaves. Just in case you need to see this, I'm grabbing some of the white and the Australian sienna, because I really want to fix this up. So what I'm going to do is go with the flow of the sky there, just to get rid of that grey colour there. There we go. Carefully, I'm just fixing this up. You shouldn't have to do this if you watch the video. Do a bit of practice and pay attention, and you won't be doing this, but unfortunately, it's the first time I'm painting this painting and it's all new to me, this one. Fix that up. We panel beaded it. So I'm just looking if I feel I've got any bits in there that were too heavy. I'm just, as an example, you can put the sky colour back in there. Okay. Now I've dried it. I'm giving it a bit of a dry. Now I'm getting this one over there. So this trunk's going to kind of come over here, fade away. I'm only doing the trunk, you see. I'm not going to do the whole thing and try and block it in with these faded colours. So we got this bending around there. Probably about this. Where's that one there? About there. So I'll do another one about here, coming off this one. About there. Like I said, this is all going to be... I'm getting this edge is going to be seen, so I'm getting that nice and sharp. I'm getting just some of the darker burnt umber, just so as I can create darker values within this tree. They would work better if it was dry. There we go, I'm just getting some darker bits in it, so when I dry it, I can put some lighter values in it. Now I've just grabbed some white, I've just tainted it with the lighter colour in the white, just so as I can get some of the vibe that I want on this tree here. So we're coming around here, just like that. This is all the way up there. Okay, coming around, get some more of that colour and get bits of it. Did I dry that tree? Yeah, I thought I did, but that's it. And like I said, if you've done too much brightness, knock it back with the darker colour again. Okay. Now this colour here that we had with a script liner, just something coming from there. Oh, that's a little bit too watery, but what this is worth, this little procedure that I'm doing now, adds just so much worth to your painting, okay? I'm just trying to get them a bit more solid. I added too much water and it went a bit see-throughy. And we're just sort of coming off there. Keep them joined. Cross them over as well. Now you don't want too much, just enough of this to fill in this little gap here where the other tree that I'm going to put on there will have a bit of an opening. Oh, if I can get it lightly. And watch this come up and back over. See, it's always good to cross them over, and that's it. Now I'm grabbing that Australian sienna again. I'm grabbing the littlest bit of burnt umber to put with some of it. Keep away from that white stuff because this one's coming a little bit darker. And this tree now is kind of coming, where are we? It's a little bit darker than that. Let me test it. That's okay. I'm sinking the trunk, there we go, the trunk down so you can hide all that business. Keeping it scratchy. Where are we? Over there. So I want them somewhere there, just gently does it. Once I finish this, you'll get a vibe of just the area I'm trying to do at the moment. You're probably a bit blind to what I'm trying to do. That's fine there. I'll get some of this over here. Covering the top of that part of the tree that you can't see. And we're putting this over all these branches here. What I'm doing is simply looking in and out of my monitor to get an idea, because that's what this painting's all about, all this scratched gold colour within the middle. And when I do the other one, you're really going to see a big change. This is just the support act for the main tree. Tasseling it. I'm putting some deliberate dots on it now. just about here. I don't want to cover too much of that branch up though. Down there, look at that. Over here, dots. It's like those strokes with a block in, and this is just... Let's see what happens if I put a little bit of light there. No, I needed the dark. Now I'm grabbing my burnt umber, and I do have some black as well, so I want to use that as well. So I'll make the actual darkness base first, so it's the black and burnt umber. And we got this tree here, so I want to get him from about here. Now trees, you need these, you need a node there, let it be a knobby bit, and then jingle jangle its way up. Now what I'm doing here, a little one there again, and come up here. The edge of this tree and this here, I'm creating a void, and you'll see why later on. So now I've got that there, I'll get that nice and solid. Branch coming up about here, there. Oh, I've got to wet this paint a bit more, it's not quite inky enough. Because this tree is big, just let that fade up there, that's there. To get this a bit thinner, maybe there. I wanted some sky here, I don't want to go right off the painting. Something out here maybe. Big up here. Now trust me, this does look stupid, but it's just the backbone, it's all going to be hidden. Okay. Now I do want to get a bit of black in that. That looks absolutely weird. I would never paint a tree like that, but once I cover it up, you will see. I'm grabbing the black on its own, and I want darkness down the bottom here, where it's hitting the ground, and just kind of, this is the part of the trunk you see, so we want bits of this black up there somewhere. Now I've got some white, I've dried it up a bit, the tree. I've got some white tainted, and I just want to get bits and bobs here. Scooting around, there we go, big white barky bits. Did I dry that tree? It doesn't seem like I did, but must have been so wet. I'm scratching them up a bit. I just want to make some of that stand out, probably about here, about there, because this one's a bit closer. And some about here. How's that looking? Too white? Oh my goodness, it is a bit too white, so I'll just kind of sit that down. And that's it, I'll leave it alone. Now I've dried up there, I'm going to grab me Australian gold, put some burnt umber with it. Australian sienna, not Australian gold, sorry, I'll get red gold mixed up. Got some permanent alizarin here, some of that in there. Not too much. Slowly as you do it. Yeah, need a bit more brown. It can be marbly. Chisel the brush up again. Now this tree here, we're going to simply do the darker bits first. I want some just radiating here. We're covering those branches up. Okay, up the top there. Now this stuff, see here, is coming in front of that stuff. So come down there and window that in. Coming over your tree, it's why it's important to dry the tree. Bringing this all the way, I want to come down here. And this edge I want to kind of bring up. That's what's in my mind, okay? There we go. Leave some nice open bits. At the very top it's very dark because this tree's just come straight off the painting. I'm just putting a bit more burnt umber with it. Just so, where are we? There we go. I'm working out where I want the darks. Hiding all that stupid, like I said before, that tree that looks so ugly. I would never paint a tree like that because it's just the fat bits of the trunk you're going to see. These bits here, the rest is all covered up with foliage. Now grabbing your Australian sienna again on the fan brush, we want to start bringing this colour over some of that darker colour, but we got to make it sit on top. That's our aim. So we're coming, where are we? Bits of it down here. Too much on the edge, just about there. What I'm doing, I'm going to scratch this on the way I'm doing it, and then I'm going to detail it, so I'll show you what I mean. Hide more of the ugly trunky bits you don't like. Now I'm going to grab some white again and turn the lights on in that. Where are we? This tree, to sink that one back, we've got to sit it over it now like this, so it's dropping down from all the way. Where are we? These are dots now, not strokes. Coming from the top down over that branch, it's just draping down like vines. Now it doesn't matter how weird or wonderful you go with this rendition, it can always be abstracty as well. But I just want to show you what you beginners and advanced beginners can have a go at. I'm mixing a little bit of quinacridone magenta within that Australian gold, because this tree here, the middle one, I'm kind of putting over there. That's okay. Because this one I need a bit more vibrant, and it's not showing vibrantly because this colour here wasn't quite in there. Now I'm just grabbing the Australian sienna again, a little bit more white in it, just to put this one right in front. It's just raining down like these viney. I'm just looking at it, going over it, you know, getting the darker colour here and detailing it with a bit more dots, and just to try and give it that bit more of an excellent look that I'm going for. Grabbing my Australian sienna, I've just blobbed in some cadmium yellow, just so as I can sit this main tree in front. I'll sit some of this tree down. detailing the front of this, bits and bobs here. Now, getting some of the grey with a tiny bit of this permanent alizarin in there. Where are we, if I can find some? There we go, I don't want that too much. A bit more, oh, there's a bit of black in there. Now just let it be dry on the brush and we'll come, see this tree here? I just want to break it up right across the road there. Getting a vibe of a shadow. We always forget shadows in our paintings, don't we? One there. But you don't want it too wet, the shadowy paints, okay? And hopefully that looks reasonable. Just something. Get from the bottom of the tree and gingerly cast your shadow across the road. Could be anything there, casting shadow as well. Because we've got light shining a shadow there, this dark bit can be a bit over here, hit with light. Something like that. Does that make sense? Yeah, it just makes it look a bit more real. We'll put our signature on here. And I want to thank all my patrons and my YouTube members that support me every month. Your help is much appreciated. Okay, let's whack a frame on that and see how she looks. Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it? I don't know what, it's a colourful, probably autumn-like road with the trees giving you that vibe. And those shadows at the end, they are what made it. And with a bit of practice, I know you can do it. Well, I had a lot of fun doing that. I hope you learnt something out of this exercise. Tell your friends if you like what I'm doing, but if you don't, you tell everybody. Also, check out this other video of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.